And we are back with the Dragon King Shadows interview, and probably a more somber edition, this third part. What fans are interested in knowing is who is good to do business with backstage, because obviously you were on the management side of it. Who is good to do business with?
Jimson was good to do business with. He was a park booker. Joe was good. Bill was good on a good day, depending on his mood. Justin always, he was our connection between professional wrestling and the backyard wrestling.
Who was difficult backstage to do business with?
Bill, flip side of the coin, both sides, depending on his mood. If he didn't want to do the job, if he wanted to do the job. I can remember one story. Jimson was coming back for his return match after the big storyline that we had, and Bill, up like a month before, was like, "I don't want a job. I don't want to do the job." And we were like, "Why?" He's "Oh, I dedicate this match to my grandparents because his grandparents just died." And he was like brick wall, just didn't want to do it. And we were like, "You came back from this big injury. Whatever we would want to do this. We would want to do the same for you. Jim would do the same thing for you. He would put you over if it was your return match." And Bill's like, "Okay, I'll do it." And who else was bad? Louis sometimes. Lou was bad to do business with sometimes. Lightning Legs was a prick sometimes. Just getting him motivated was bad. Come on, Nick, we gotta get to 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Oh yeah, had to sit there for 5 minutes waiting for him to come, just so we can start the match.
Probably the more difficult questions to ask, because most people, make up their own stories of what happened, what with this. Obviously, as you know, as being the owner, a lot of people make up their own decisions and their own ideas of what happened. But the question that's on everyone's mind that has viewed KCW, what happened? Why did KCW fold? What really was the straw that broke the camel's back for the company?
It was a number of things. It was Justin left when we were going to push him, and he was our big booker, and he was the backstage general. You went to him when you had a problem, and he would solve it. And he left, and talent started to go awry, and then the nose shot heard around the world when Joe hit Bill in the nose at Starcase. Went into the flip side, Bill was being very reckless with Joe, dropping him on the head, and there was an accident where he hit him in the nose, and Bill's mom came out. I was like, "You're never doing this ever again here," and we couldn't get another place to go, and he was very standoffish about it. We didn't know if he didn't want to drop the belt. It was just a number of things, and he really did have us by the balls. We had his backyard, which was one. That's where we did all the shows. He was dating Jimson's sister, and we couldn't flip out of him about anything, because we knew they broke up, no yard, KCW would have ended. So he really had us by the balls with that one.
So ultimately,
it was Bill.
Ultimately, his complaint about that one shot that he suffered in a match that has been viewed many times by fans, that Joe Cool took a number of shots that were considered dangerous.
Days later, me and Joe, he came over to my house and we sat there, and I was still editing it, and we watched it back and forth, in and out, watching every spot, pausing it as he was landing on his head, and thinking to myself, how isn't he not paralyzed or dead? Very reckless. Very reckless.
Because the perception among the fans that have viewed KCW are basically saying that the rumor is that Bill had said that he couldn't wrestle days before. You found a replacement, and then he said he could.
Yeah.
So the mindset was that he just didn't want to do the job.
When we put him over every time against Joe, and
Because
And we had the storyline was Joe never won the big one. He couldn't beat Bill. He just
because the records show that Joe has only defeated Bill once, and that was at a Star Case in which Bill then brutalized him and debuted his new character. Joe was really the catalyst for Bill's new character because he couldn't believe that Joe finally beat him, in which Joe really didn't come out the winner in that one. Bill looked like
Bill beat the crap out of him afterwards. That was the point.
In which he started using...
We were setting up for a big storyline that was going to take place after Star Case 5.
So basically what...
We were planting the seeds for Bill. And with everybody, with Jim, and it was going to be this big, like, gang fight between two big factions. We were going to split the company in half. It was going to be one side against the other side.
And obviously none of that happened.
None of that took place because of, well, you saw the seeds being planted. Shadow was talking about no respect from anybody, and
mirroring TNA's Main Event Mafia.
But we were going to go a different route with it.
So obviously KCW ended strictly due to the fact of one complaint, one mistake in the ring, and nothing being resolved afterwards. Were there any attempts to try to get any answers?
Yeah, a week later. We were in Jimson's bedroom here. And we were watching TV behind me. I think it was still there. I think it was over there. Or it was over here. I think it was over here. We watched the whole pay-per-view, front to back. And I says, nobody talk, just watch, enjoy it. Bill was sitting behind the camera over there. The pay-per-view ended, and Joe stood up, and he, like the brave soul that he is, went, nobody's going to talk about it, I'm going to talk about it. Bill, why? Why did you do it? And Bill got up and says, I don't want to talk about it. Started yelling, let's not talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. That's it. It's over with. It happened. That's it. I just don't want to do it anymore. Just stop. That's it.
So really no explanation whatsoever.
No explanation. And every time 6 months later we approached him. And we were like, well, why? And he was more like, yeah, let's do another show. And we were really like, yeah, let's do another show. And very standoffish. Like, he just didn't want to. He knew we just didn't want to do business with him anymore. We didn't trust him.
Obviously, the reunion show that you guys had looked like it was a little more fun than you had during that show because it was less hectic.
No, it was hectic. we had a tight-knit time period. Jim had to leave early. We had to get out of Justin's house early. Cameras didn't work.
Nevertheless, it was still a good show.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I wouldn't view it. If we didn't have that show and Starcase was our last one, I would have thought Starcase was our best one. Salvation
did have its good points.
It did have its good point, but I mean, we had a skeleton. If you were to turn the camera around and see who was backstage comparing Starcase with Salvation, it was a skeleton crew. Half of the people weren't there back, and it was just me and Kenny and Jerry just videotaping. Whereas when we had Bill's Backyard, it was everybody was videotaping. And, yeah.
Obviously, we don't want to end this interview on a somber note. Mm-hmm. We want to have a little fun with you right now, Mr. Shadow, and that's your favorite game, and that's name association. We'll go one after the other. Louis.
Could be prima donna when he wants to, but fun nevertheless.
Kurt Angle, George Tinsman.
Brother to me.
Lightning Legs.
Prick.
Joe Cool.
Underdog.
Cage.
Try not to laugh when you're in the ring with him, because he can do it very easily.
Just Insane.
Sick bastard.
The Fallen Angel.
Oh my god. What the hell did I say before? Manipulative. Especially when it came to another region.
Jim Sin.
Out of character, very good friend, close friend. In character, want to kick his frickin' ass.
Death X.
Goku. The reason why I said it for all you Dragon Ball Z fans out there. Him and Jimson always had this rivalry, backstage and in real life, because we all grew up together. It was like, why is he better than me? Why is he always better than me in everything? He's like Goku and Vegeta, and that's how we call it, and that's how we would refer to them backstage. Is there goes Goku, there goes Vegeta. You know, Jimmy would be like, I'm better than you at something, and then Giuseppe would do it, and he was like, son of a, damn it, how can I, fuck, like, you would hear Jimmy cursing on the other side, and you would see Giuseppe with a smile on his face walking by, and we would know right away. He ribbed him. He ribbed him.
And to finish this off, Big Bad Bill.
Green Bean. That's our nickname for him or he who shall not be named. That's what we that's our. Or we go who? or jokingly somebody would go Big Bab, and then somebody would go shut your mouth. So yeah, that's him.
Hopefully this will not be the last time we have been honored with the presence of the Dragon King Shadow.
Oh, you'll see, not me, but you'll see the character, and we're trying to do a movie with him. We're trying to do comic books with the character. So there's a lot more. If you're a Shadow fan, there's a lot more merch you can get of me. I'm not dead yet.
Hopefully this will not be the last time that Shadow is in character, and hopefully we will get to see him lace up his boots one more time. Dragon King Shadow, it has been our honor and privilege to interview you. Hopefully we will see you again.
Now get the hell out of my room. I mean, this isn't my room. Never mind.